What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things. My tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you typically every other week so I can tell you all about the crafty things that I've been getting my hands onto. But today is a floss tube extra. Yes, if you are here to see my whips, you are in the right place. This is my whip parade. Drumroll. It is Return of the Nightmare of the Oh My God, What Have I Done? Whip Parade. If you're new here, I am a stitcher and knitter and spinner, cross stitcher, spinner crocheter, who lives in the Pacific Northwest. I have been stitching for eons. I did take a huge break, about a decade long, and came back to stitching in 2020 when I moved and had to pack up all my stitching and went, oh my gosh, I've got some lovely things, and started stitching again and immediately started filming. So I've been doing this for a little while. I do show my knitting as well as my cross stitching. I show all of my crafts normally. But like I said, today is a whip parade. It is my 2025 whip parade. I think I have 63 whips. I have divided them by year. We're starting with the oldest. I call these my 2019 whips because they are all the things that I did prior to coming, they're all my whips that I had prior to coming back into stitching in 2020. So these are my oldest, and of this grouping, only 2 have not been worked on this year. Halo polishing time. I do have a giant mug of tea to keep me going. This is a tea from Adiago Teas. It is their Dragon Pearls. It is just a nice, highly caffeinated black because I'm going to need all the energy to get through this today. I may not get it all done today. If you see a costume change partway through, you'll know. She had to take a break and she came back the next day. I expect that to happen. So, what I have to say to you is, buckle up, get some good stitching or some good knitting, a nice mug of tea, use the restroom first, and we'll see how long this takes. I will try not to rock your world too many times, but I just realized that the way that I set this up is right behind my tripod. I'm a professional. Okay. We have, living in this lovely spooky bag by nobody knows who. C Street Sampler Works, I Sigh Not for Beauty. I am doing this on a 40 count pear by Lakeside Linen using some Vicki Clayton silks. Not a lot of progress was done on this one this year, but a little bit was. As you can see, I've been working on the border. I worked more on the border, obviously. I do need to remember when I come back to this one that I do not have all the little white blossoms in on this side, so I need to remember to put those in next time I work on this so that I don't forget. And this is, I told you what it was already. Almost all my pieces are going to be on 40 count. So if I forget to tell you, I apologize. Any questions, just put them in the comment thingy down there, and I will do my best to answer them if I know the answer. So, some progress on that one. Next up is Golden Kites, Meeting on the Turret Stair. I love this piece so much. It is not on a 40 count. It is on, I don't know what. One moment. All right. Warning, I do park. So if dangling threads give you the heebie-jeebies, you might want to close your eyes. Yoink! Here we are. This is where I am on Meeting on a Turret Stair. All of this section where it's on a diagonal is what I have done this year. So I'm just getting into her head right here. Oh, I love how beautifully this one is turning out. I have a plan this year. I have not Still have not crunched my numbers, but I have a plan this year to get all 3 of my full coverage BAPs to 10%. Again, I haven't crunched my numbers, so I'm still not 100% sure that that'll happen. But that is my tentative goal right now. But, oh, isn't she looking good? Look at that. You can just see all of it. We're just starting to get into the window back here. So nice. I love this one so much. All right. And pause again. That one's a little difficult to finagle and move around, so I had to pause. I have Anne Grimshaw. She's living in a snowman bag because I have no clue why. This is one that actually didn't get worked on this year. My plan was to work on her in November, and by the end of the year, my plans were out the window. So, Anne Grimshaw, this is one by Scarlet Letter. This is on a 40 count Earthen by Picture This Plus. I am using Vicki Clayton's Rubbed Black. And she still has her very, 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 very pathetic start. And that is all I have. Oh, she's so pretty, and I really need to get back to her. I'm going to try and not say that about everything, but I love all my pieces, so you probably will hear me say that a lot. But yeah, sadly, this one had no work last year. One moment. There will be zipping, there will be unzipping, because otherwise the chaos that is a WIP parade will be even worse, and we don't want that. Living in this little Rip-It bag are my Quaker Turtles by With My Needle. This one is done over 1 on a 32 count something green, using all of the called for, because that's how you make the things. And I don't recall if I had finished this one completely, but I know I had not even started this one. So I did all of this past year. And it's still living in the Q-snap because I kept meaning to get back to this one. I didn't. Living in this beautiful bag. No, I don't care if you think you can read my address. I no longer live there, so it doesn't matter. This is my chatelaine. This is Persian Iris Garden. For years, I have had this sitting on the sidelines as I knew I had a huge mistake in it. Ginormous. The world's biggest mistake. I had notes telling me all these things that I needed to do, all the new threads that I had to buy if I was just going to rip things out, and it was dramatic. So when I pulled this one out to work on this year, I knew it was going to be a huge process. Only to find out I had 6 stitches in the wrong spot. I have not done a lot on this because I spent hours trying to find the mistake that was barely there. I have finished up this and started going into the border here and did a little bit more in here and a little bit more in here, all to find out, yep, the tiny little 6 that I found, that I fixed, that seems to be all it is. So I'm just going to continue going on, and if there's more, then I can cry. But until then, she's just going to get a little bit of work. Look at all those beads. Oh, stunning. And this whole thing here is solid beads. I really want to get back to this one. Look at that. Look at all the shine. This is on a 32 count black Belfast linen. Using all of the called for threads because it's a chatelaine. So I have all the silks, all the fun, all the DMC compared to all the silks. Yeah. Oh, and the shinies. And beads. And more beads. Beads for days. Because it's a chatelaine. And that's how they work. But finally this one is no longer, ooh, sorry about that zip, that was terrible. This one's no longer hanging over my head. So next time I pull it out, I can just stitch on it, and I am very excited about that. Next up is the other one from this batch that I did not work on this year, and it was Yakina Head Lighthouse by Silver Lining. And this one barely has a start. It's kind of sad. This one is using all of the called for threads, which is a combination of Anchor and DMC. All I have is that very top part. I have it on a gray fabric, which I thought would make more sense because the Yakina Head Lighthouse is in Oregon, and we tend to have skies that look like this. I did not take into account that the parts that are stitched in here in the Fresnel lens are all shiny blue. So my Fresnel lens is, that's where the blue sky is. It's the one spot of blue sky right there. Oops. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be pretty anyway. And this one is also not on a 40 count. I said they're all on 40 count, but evidently my older ones are not. I'm not sure what it's on. Maybe a 32 count? I am doing it over 2, so probably a 32 count. My 40 counts are over 1. My 1 strand over 2, not over 1. My 32 counts are 2 over 2. I said over 1 because this next one is M. Woods by My Lady's Needle, and this one is over 2, but I'm stuck at the spot where there's some over 1. This one I am doing with Vicki Clayton Silk's, her Superfine Silk, because this is being done on an uneven weave, which is like 56 by 60 or something ridiculous. It's adorably small and teeny and tiny, and I did do work on it this year. And that is where I am now. I did most of this that I remember. I might have done a little more. It's so good. But down here, and I think in here, there's some over 1. That'll take some bright light, good breathing, and quiet. It's so pretty. Look at that one. So with this one, these little lion guys are over 1, and then these guys here and here over 1, and the verse is over 1. So I'm getting into the section where there's a whole lot of over 1. Wish me luck. Hold my hand. What do they call it? It's 5262 uneven weave. Just 2 more? 3 more. 3 more pieces from my long, long ago stitches. This is Thriller by Sampler Cove. I am doing this on an unknown 40 count, 1 over 2, using some Vicki Clayton Silks. This one, I joined a SAL this year, and I got a lot of progress on this one in that SAL, and I plan to get some good work on it again next year. So it is still in a Q-snap because of that. I know I should show off the whole thing, but I'm way down at that bottom third, and I'm just not going to bother. Oh, fine. It's a WIP parade. It's a WIP parade. I should. You're right. It's a very tight Q-snap. There we go. Ah, it looks so good. Look at that. I still have like the bottom third to go, but it's looking gorgeous. But you're right, it's a WIP parade, Lee. Show off the WIP. That's the whole point of a WIP parade. Don't you agree? So you get to see all the lovely things that other people are working on, some that maybe you want to join them with, others that you are more than happy to just watch them so you can stitch with them vicariously. They can do all the work, and you can sit back and just enjoy the watching. Some of my favorite stitching, and knitting both, is vicarious. 2 more from this ancient time. and then we will pause and I will pull out the next one. This one is Middle Earth Map by Heaven and Earth Design. This is Middle Earth Map Large. This has been retired for years. I got it years ago. I got a lot of work done on it this year, and I am barely anywhere in it. Again, many parked threads. Here we go. So I've been putting this one on the diagonal, and I made it all the way down to this diagonal to the end. So when I pull this out next year, I'm going to start up there. Oh no! Yes, this is just a funny part. I'll start up here and do the next diagonal. And when I get to 10% on this one, I will probably move on to Meeting on the Turret Stair. Or I'll get tired of working on all the browns, of which it is every single brown that DMC ever made. And then I'll move on to Meeting on the Turret Stair, and I'll get back to this one when I'm no longer as tired of working on it. My last one from the long ago times. This is Mirabilia's Maidens of the Seasons 1 and 2. I'm doing this one 1/2 on a 28 count Serendipity by Sugar Maple Fabrics. And this is one of the pieces that I have slotted for my Focus on a Finish this year. I have one piece from every group of years that I'm going to be working on, trying to get finished this year. And if I don't make it this year, that's fine too, but they are my focus to the finish. So that's what they look like. And this is where she's at. I have all of the stitching and back stitching of winter, spring, and summer. I have a lot of autumn done. I haven't done any of her face because it'll be over 1. And none of the beads. So beads will be the thing I do last. But that is where she is standing. And that's the whole thing. Here is what I worked on this year, autumn. So I'm almost finished with her dress. And that is everything from my prior to restarting stitching career. Now we will pause for a second, and I will come back with my WIPs that I still have left over from 2020, and I will show you which one from 2020 that I have planned for a Focus on the Finish. Hydrate, people. Hydrate. You're going to need it. Okay. Now we are to 2020. I have 2 WIPs left over from 2020. So I have chosen one of those 2 to be my Focus on the Finish. And that one is Jane Reese by Scarlet Letter. Neither one of these got any work this past year. This is 1/2 on a 50 count, I don't know what, using a collection of Vicki Clayton's Oh My God Red. And as you can see, I am very close to a finish. I just have the rest of this column and then this column to do, which is why I chose her as my Focus on a Finish. And the other one still left over from 2020 is the one that actually brought me back into stitching. Pandemic. Yep, I started it. I have it on some Picture This Plus Dill, 40 count, 1/2. Using a selection of Vicki Clayton silks again, and some purples, but I'm doing all of the animals and critters and such in a black. she looks like that. So I've made it all the way across the top, but I have not done very much of this one. Cannot wait to get back to these both. Now we'll move on to the 3 I have left over from 2021. I did okay when I came back for the first couple years. Apologies for the bump. First up, we have Lady Lazarus by Monster Bubbles. This one is going to have a little bit ripped out because I'm playing with the colors. I'm not using the called for colors, I'm kind of doing my own thing. It is 1/2 on an unknown, I think 40 count. I'm not sure, it was just a piece of fabric I had. And this one is my focus on a finish. And now you can see why I'm going to change some of the colors. You can't read it. You just cannot read it. So I want you to be able to. And that one is my focus on a finish piece for my 2021 WIPs. That's living in this giant bag that it really doesn't need to be living in, but that's the one that she's living in. I then have, living in this fun bag, The Collectors by Autumn Lane Design. This is on the called for fabric color, which I don't remember, but it is a 40 count, not whatever they called for. Other than that, I'm using all the called for DMC. And I have it on a huge piece, so if I ever finish it, I will have a lot of leftover lovely fabric, because it's on a ginormous thing. And that is where she is at. Apologies, having a hard time finding all my linen. Yes, I work on bed sheets, and I'm afraid of cutting things because I'm afraid I will mismeasure and cut them wrong. And then we have Hamilton songs. I did work on both Collectors and Hamilton songs this year. This is by Taylor and Cromwell. I was doing this on the Aida cloth that came with it, but that stuff could stop bullets, so I changed. And because of that, I actually got some decent progress on this one. Now it's just on I think it's a 32 count. And that is where I'm at. And I absolutely love the colors, even if the confetti is a little heavy, but worth it because I am loving how it's turning out. The colors are just gorgeous. And that is everything from 2020 and 2021. So we will pause again, and I will find my 2022. There will be a couple more, I do believe, from there. I don't recall. Maybe 2022 is also a short year. One of the next 3 years is short. One is very, very big, and I don't remember which is which. I'll be right back. I am now back with my 2022 WIPs. I have worked on all of these except one. And this is one of my, there's more. First up, we have, living in this spooky bag, A Mind Independent and Free by Carriage House Sampling. This is my focus on a finish for this year. I am using an unknown piece of fabric and a collection of Vicki Clayton silks. And I have done all of that. So I am getting real close to a finish on this one, which is why it's the one I decided to work on. There we go. So all I have left on this one is, I think I'm right here, and so I just have this bottom piece. Still a chunk, but she's well on the way. And then we have Home Sweet Home by the Bay. I do not have a cover photo of it. It was a stitch along from 2022. I did not get very far on it. It's a whole bunch, it's 12 little houses. And I have the outline and I have this. I'm thinking I need to tear out, well, no, actually they look okay. Okay, you can see those clouds in real life. I just have a little bit of that first one done, and as you can see, there's 12 of them to do. Have I done them? No. But this one did get some work, and I was contemplating tearing out the light color of the clouds, but I don't think I'm going to. I think it looks okay. And then we have Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. I'm doing this one on a 40 count Old Massachusetts from Primitive Hair, and I am using a Vicki Clayton silk conversion. I am still in that border. I believe I brought more down here and maybe a little more here. I think that's the bottom of the border. So many color changes, but we all know how Rosewood Manor goes. It's worth it. You just have to work at it. Oh, and she's so pretty. Look at that. Look at those colors. Aren't those just stunning? I love our designers. They give us such lovely things to work on. I just need all of them to stop for about 2 years so I can catch up. That's all. And then we have The Moons of 2022 by Kathy Barrick. I am doing this one on, I don't remember what fabric, but I am using the NPI silks. And I'm not very far. I am changing it from saying The Moons of 2022. I'm just going to move that over and center it and just say The Moons. I'm almost filled in with that top part. And then the next section will be really easy. It's just the names of the different months of the moons. And then there's some trees, which will also be easy. And then there's some full coverage hills with animals in them. That'll take a little bit. Oh, I have this. It's a 40 count Vanilla Latte by Bestitch Me. I still have the tag on the fabric. That's helpful. Yay, Pastly. Good job. Helping. You're helping. Living in Here is another Autumn Lane design. This is the forest, or the earth. Dark Queen of the Forest, Dark Queen of the Earth. I get them mixed up. I don't know what it is, but it's one of those two. And I did get some work done on her this past year. Did a bunch down here, and then I brought this thing up, and then I stalled because now I have to make decisions about face and all sorts of things. I'm going to be doing the green skin colorway, but I do not know a couple other details, so this is where she stopped. I do love her though. She's so good. This is using the called for green fabric, which I don't remember the name of, and all of the called for flosses. Living in Here, this nice spooky bag, is Heartstring Samplery's Scary Sampler. My sister actually finished this year. I am nowhere near. Mine is 1/2 on a 40 count. I don't remember what. And I am using all of the called for threads. I worked more on the border this year. Lots of Demogorgons. Almost finished with that top one. Not quite yet. Lots of grass on this one. And I'm nowhere near it. Nowhere near. Then we have, let me see if I can pull it out easily, a Mill Hill kit that I'm working on. This one is Buttons and Beads Spooky Gate. I was having a hard time working on this one because I didn't know how to hold the paper. And then I bought one of those holders, and I think it's going to be a lot easier after that. So I haven't gotten a lot of this done. I did work on it a little bit this year. And then I purchased this, and I think this is going to make my life a lot easier. As you can see, I don't have a lot done. And it's just big enough to slide down in there. I have another Autumn Lane design. I was evidently really enjoying them in 2022. I have Tonight We Ride. I am doing this one on the Called For fabric, which is a 32 count pumpkin patch by Bestitch Me, using all of the Called For. And here's where we're at. And I'm really hoping I didn't start it too low and can still get all of that town in. It's feeling low. It's feeling like I should have brought it up a little bit. I don't know. Gonna have to do some counting when this one comes back out. But I do have all the witches in. And if I messed up, I'll just shorten the town. I'll make it work. I'll make it work is what I'm saying. Just don't think I actually had this centered very well. We will see. Oh, it's so pretty though. I made some decent progress on that one this year. Putting in this little bag is Frosted Pumpkin Cottage? Yes, Frosted Pumpkin Cottage by the Witchy Stitcher. I am doing this one on a 30 count R&R 18th Century Blackbird, using all of the Called For DMCs. And let me do some folding here so you can't see through it. I just worked more on that house. Oh, it's going to look so good on this. I really need to get back to this one. I know. I was just saying, I'm not going to say that all the time. Been doing okay with not doing it. And then what do? Oh, I really need to get back to this one. I did pop these these floss holders into here because this is how I'm doing it. So I think next time I pull this out, I'm going to actually make it pretty with fun floss tags. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I can't get this back in. It's all good. Don't mind the crinkling. We have an impressive bag for this one. I'm very impressed by this bag. Lots of work went into it. Rooks by Owl Forest Embroidery. As you can see, it is a kit, so I'm just using all of the Called For. And I have 3 of the rooks. And last time I worked on this, my mother actually looked up what a group of rooks is called, and I have forgotten. But I'm going to make a note of that, and I'm going to put it in here because a murder of crows, and I can't remember what a group of rooks was called. But she let me know. So whatever is called for in the kit, fabric-wise, that's the size I'm using. And I'm using the Owl Forest Embroidery colors because they're just so fun. I'm loving this one. It's so pretty. I'll try not to say that too. Living in this fun bag is Nevermore by Leela's Studio. I'm doing this one with a Forbidden Fiber Company kit, essentially. They did the fabric and the floss. So I think the name of the fabric is, I don't remember what the name of the fabric is, Morning Mist. And it is a 40 count. And then I'm just using their flosses as well. I have almost made it all the way across the top with that first band. There's a lot more stitching in this one than I think. And I say that every time I work on it. I go, oh, I got like 2,000 stitches in, and I've done this much. Not quite that bad, but it kind of feels it. It's going to be absolutely stunning though. And my last piece from 2023 is the Modern Folk Embroidery Reaching Skyward. I have not done a lot on this. It is being done on a 40 count, I'm not sure what, using Leo and Roxy flosses in the colors Ways Silver Dollar and Seize the Day. This is the one where he gave you all sorts of options, which stymied me, and I had a hard time. So, I haven't even made it down very far, but I did get over to here this year, I think. A little bit of progress on it. Be on that fabric, if it's ever finished, and I don't remember what the fabric is. And now, I will pause yet again, and I will bring out 2023, and I think 2024. Or I'll stop for the night. We'll see which one I do. One moment. More tea. It's needed. We've moved on to 2023, of which I have 2 projects. One of which is a map. This is one of the ones that I want to get to 15%. No, 10% this coming year. It is Gamer Nouveau by Gecko Rouge. And there is my measly little start. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty though. This one is 1/2 on a 28 count, I think. And my other WIP from 2023 are the rest of the Gather Rounds. I got this as the kit when it came out. I've only done the first set of 3, and there are 4 sets of 3. So I have 3 more sets of 3 to do. And I haven't made it very far on the next set. That's all I've made it. This, as I said, was the kit. So it's just everything that they said it was. And this is the one that I have pulled out for 2023 to try and get a fully finish on, because it isn't ever going to be a BAP. No, no, no. And now we shall move into my 2024 WIPs. They are, well, I did 50 and 50 that year. So I still have a lot of WIPs left over, because did I choose small things? No. I chose a lot of apps. Let's go. This one is the Scarlet Unspoken by Dimples Designs. I did work on this some this year. This is a 28 count fabric because this has beading. And just all the DMC and Krynic and beads. I do have a bit of hanging threads because there are a lot of quarter stitches in this one. That is where she stands right now. Working on filling in that lovely corset. And failing at folding up my yarn. It's not yarn. It's fabric, but you understand. And then we have With Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. I didn't get very far with this one this year. Or in 2025. 2024. This is from 2024. What is the piece that I have set aside for that year? Ooh, I'm gonna have to double check. one moment. I'm going to do that because I don't remember. Right, I had to double check. We have, oh, I don't think I printed out the picture. This is a Long Dog sampler. It is Ruche de Saxe, and it is, let me find it real quick. This one. This one is 1/2 on a 40 count, Bestitch Me. I don't remember what the fabric is. And I am using Vicky Clayton Silks. Not much of a start. Didn't work on it this year. Didn't work on it much last year. Yeah. Oh, and it probably goes this way. Yeah, that makes more sense. This is the direction it goes. Then we have Charlotte Warrington by Needlework Press. I love this one. This lady in her plaid pants. She's to die for. I bought this as a kit, so I am just using all the kitted up stuff. I chose the Weeks Dye Works version of the kit. I think there were a couple of options. I don't remember what the fabric is. I don't remember. And right now, I just have border. And even not much of it. I did work on this one a little bit this year. I think I got in a couple of these flowers. But there's a lot more fabric. 'Cause she's not a petite little girl. I need to get back to this one. Then we have Hands-On Designs, 17th block. I'm using all of the called for. And I only worked on it that one day and haven't touched it again. So all it says is, it is in the shelter of each. Not sure when I'll get back to this one, but I will, because it's pretty and I like it. What are you? All right. This is Plum Street Samplers Spring Moon. I did buy this, I think no, it wasn't. This one wasn't a kit. No, this one wasn't a kit. I am using Fox and Rabbit Cinnamon Sugar as my fabric and all of the called for threads. And I am just at the very top. I did pull this out and do a little bit of this last year, or this year. It's nearly the end of the year, so I keep saying last year, and I mean 2025. Technically, that is still this year. So. I have Anne Kirby 1845 by Needlework Press. This is with, I don't know. I think this was a kit, so I'm using all the called for? Possibly. It is 40 count hog's bristle and classic colorwork threads. And here's my pathetic start. More than I thought. Oh right, I did pull this one out this year. So I did get a little bit of work into this one this year, because I did not have this much at the beginning of the year. Oh, I love that flower pot. Look at it. It's so pretty. Now we have ink circles. The forest for the trees has a pathetic start. Was not worked on this year. It is this one. I am using 32 count Atypical from Mystic Fabrics. So I'm doing this 2/2 with all of the called for classic color works. And here's my sad little start. Just a teeny tiny bit. But it's so pretty. I love the colors. They're just rich and fun. And then this chonker of a bag. This is And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. I have been using this as my motif a week this year. Once I found it again. It did go on Walkabout. But once it came back, I started doing it as my motif a week. And I will continue to use it as a motif a week this year in 2026. Because I made some really nice progress on this one. This is 1/2 on a 40 count. It's Cedar River linen. Starts with an A. Albarium. That's it. Using all the called for DMCs. So it's every green that DMC has ever created in their lifetime. And it's beautiful. Now we have companion to the Beatrix Potter Sampler by Needleprint. I finished the Beatrix Potter Sampler years ago. Got it framed last year, I want to say. Decided I wanted to work this one up so I can get it framed as a partner to the Beatrix Sampler Quaker. I'm doing the same color. I think this is a 40 count. It's white. The color that I'm using is Fish Paprika from Vicky Clayton. And I'm not very far. Let's see, I have how much of across the top? So I need 2 more Quakers across the top and multiple down. Okay. I do love a good Quaker. I have plenty of fabric. Plenty of fabric. Again, I work on bed sheets because I'm terrified of cutting until I know it'll fit. And this is the one that I have out for 2025 that I want to get progress on to focus on a finish. Let me reach. Now we have His Eye Was on the Sparrow by Heartstrings Samplery. This one also went on Walkabout for a bit and I couldn't find it, so it has had no progress this year. So this one, I have a 40 count. I'm not sure what the fabric is. I don't know if I have it. And all the called for threads. And I'm sure it is a pathetic start because, like I said, this one went on Walkabout and I had no progress on it this year. So this is all progress from last year. Just that. How sad. I also have the chart for His Eye Was on the Sparrow. And evidently she's going to be releasing another one this year. Which means I'll have to get it too, but, you know, maybe I should try and finish it. Perhaps. Then we have, what are you called? I don't remember. Let me find the chart. Happily Ever After by Rebel Stitcher. I am using all of the called for, and this is on pink chocolate, a 40 count pink chocolate by Bestitch Me. And I just have the beginnings of the border. I'm folding these terribly, but that's okay. I just thought that would work. This is Labyrinth by Mariska. I have this on a 35 count. I'm doing it 2/2, which I may regret, assuming I have enough silks from Vicki Clayton. I did work on this a little bit this year. So I'm just right up in that upper left corner. Look at that color though. Oh, I do love this one. Again, another giant piece that I've hardly worked on, because that's just this little corner right there. And doing it 2/2 definitely eats a lot of silk. Just saying. Definitely eats a lot of silk. Oops, I think I just zipped that one. This is another Mirabilia. It is, there we go, Silver Moon Tea. I have not worked on this at all this year. I am doing it on a 28 count because I like that so that you can get all the beads to fit. I don't remember the color of the fabric. Let me do a quick peek, see if I have it in here. I do. It is Peaceful Purple. I don't know who by. It's just 32 count. Did it say 32 count or did that say 28 count? That said 32 count. Peaceful Purple. And yeah, I don't have a lot done because she's kind of full coverage and that's all I have. But isn't that a fun purple? Oh, she's gonna be pretty eventually. I'm using all of the called for. I have the beads. I have the whole 9 yards in here. And so that, I need to grab a couple more things so that I can finish my 2020 4 starts. And we'll see where we're at. But I have several, so these need to go away now. We're still going through 2024. We're not near the end. Yikes. All right. We have Village of Hawkrun Hollow by Carriage House Sampling. This one is 1/2 on 40 count vintage sand dune using a Vicki Clayton silk conversion. This is one that I have been putting some work in every single month. I've been doing 1,000 stitches in a square each month. And I am going to continue to do that this year because I got a decent amount of progress doing it that way. And there's where we are with Village of Hawkrun Hollow. 1,000 stitches. I had used this as my 12 by 12 at the beginning of the year, where I worked an hour in each square first, and then for the rest of the year it was 1,000 stitches. So they have a little bit of different amounts of stitching in each of them because of that, because, well, when you start out at the beginning of 12 and 12, you have a lot of get up and go, so you get a lot more stitches in, and then you get to your 12th, and you don't have as much get up and go. That is where Village is right now. And at the end of this year, it should have 1,000 more stitches in every single square. This is Weeds and Wildflowers from the Artsy Housewife. This was Caroline's birthday project for her 50th birthday. And this is the kit that I purchased, so I'm using all of the called for Leo and Roxy Flossco colors and linen. I think it's called Buttercream. It's 40 count. I had a huge mistake in it this year, so I had to rip a lot of it out, but I put it all back in and now it's going great guns. I did work on it this year. Made some decent progress on it too. I love that moth. It is so pretty. And the colors, look at those colors. I mean, Look at that. It's just stunning. Anyhow. There's that one. I do not have a cover photo of this one because it is a digital chart. This is Odyssey by Quaterion Creations. I'm doing this on a 40 count. Don't even have a clue what the fabric is, and using black and a phthalo red because I wanted it to look like Greek pottery because it is the Odyssey. My friends have made jokes that they hope that this does not take me as long as the Odyssey, which is rude. And I'm going to have to replace my battery. I'll be right back. Battery replaced, and we're going again. This, I've sort of finished, but it's not finished, if that makes any sense. I'll explain. These are the Hands-On Designs Polar Plunge series. And I bought all of them, including the charity one, which was Narwhal. I have not finished all of them, but I do not currently have one in progress. But I am counting this as a WIP because I forget why. I usually don't do that, but I am this time. I'm using all of the called for everything. And there's my polar bear, there's my puffins, and there's my narwhals. As you can tell, I'm really great at putting things well centered. All this fabric. I only have 3 more to do. I don't need to be so stingy with the fabric. But are these animals not the cutest? I just love them. This is using all of the called for, like I said. And since it is, I think it's 32 count fabric, I am doing it 2/2. I may, possibly, it's months away, so I don't know. I may use this as my Christmas in July stitching. I know it's not Christmas, it's winter, but that's where I'm at. Living in. This is, all right, it's got quite the name. Sarah, wait, no, I got it wrong. Let me find it. The Sewing Chest of Nantucket Sister Sailor Sarah Elliott by Primitive Traditions. It's got quite the name. And this is a very old chart. Here's the picture, which is an actual picture. I have the entire kit, so I have all the things, including the little black box, which I'm supposed to finish things on. I did not work on this at all this year. But when I did work on it last year, I did a goodly bit. So don't feel too bad that I didn't get anything on it this year. Lots of little pieces. And look at those sheep. They are French knotted sheeps, so they are very individual characters. This was kitted up for years, so I have all the right colors because it's the right dye lot for when this originally came out in the before times, eons ago. Oh, I need to get back to this one. It's so cute. I have this big a piece of fabric because you need it for all the other little bits. So you have a whale thing there, you have this pocket thing, you have this pocket thing, you have this scissor fob. This is actually on a different linen. But yeah, I think I have all the bits. I'm working away on it. Not this year, but I will get back to it. This is Paris by Thea Govner. I have many of her cities. This is the only one I've started. I haven't completed any of them because this is the only one I've started. I love it. It's a kit, so I'm just using whatever was called for. And I have been working on a Sakrakor. Oh, I need to bring this one back out. I love Paris. Paris is, I think, my favorite city. I have visited it many times. And the Cluny Museum, where you can see these tapestries. Love! Oh, that looks so good. I need to get back to you. The first city that I bought from this collection was Never Ending Russian Rooftops, also known as St. Petersburg. And then all the rest of the ones that I've purchased have been cities that I've visited. Not all cities I've visited. All the cities I've visited that she's done, but of the ones that I've purchased, they're all cities that I've visited. And now I'm like, uh-oh. Should I only do the ones that I've visited? Because I don't think I'm ever going to get to St. Petersburg. I don't know. I don't know. With as long as that's taking me, it's kind of a moot question. I'm never going to have to actually answer it. And that's all right. This is another one that I have as a digital pattern, and so therefore I do not have a cover photo. But it is Lila Studios' Haunted Library. Now, I did not do this as part of the stitch along she did when she did it. It was all the way out by the time I got to it. I'm using that as a defense, because this is as far as I've made it. That's it. That's it. So much to go. I purchased it during the stitch along. I got each individual piece as it came out. I just didn't start it. Yeah, I'm really good at signing up for her stitch alongs and getting all the pieces and not working on them. Yeah. But this one needs to be done. This one needs some progress. Because I love libraries and I love books. I have no clue. Oh, wait. Be-stitch me coconut shell, 40 count. Sometimes I leave the tag in there and then I can find it. Yay me. Living in this project portfolio thing is a piece I'm counting as one, but it's technically two. Let me see where it came out at Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit 2 years ago. I'm trying to find all the pieces. Oh, there it is. I think I'm calling it Across the Miles. I'm doing it whatever order they said. I think it's this. Because when they gave it to us, they gave us, obviously, both pieces, but they did it so that we could put it on one piece of linen, and I really liked it, and I thought it was sweet. So I was doing it as the double piece, so I'm counting it as one piece, even though it's two charts, because it's going on one piece of fabric. And this is my sad start. I think I did these yellow berries this year. And that was it, I think. I could be wrong about that. But that's all I have. And this was, like I said, it was kitted up. So it's whatever was called for in the kit. But I do have to show the thread winder, the floss holder. Is that not adorable? And since it was made for this project, you have enough holes for the colors you're using. It's sweet. Really need to get back to this one. So pretty. Why is it living in a giant dragon bag? I don't know. It is. Living in here is Chirchi and Yerchi. So, I started this in 2024, but I got it when I went to Jacobpalooza. So I had it kitted up for a couple of years, and it's huge. But it is kitted up with all of the Roxy Floss Co. flosses and linen, because, like I said, I got it as a kit when I was there. Here are all of the colors. They're just such lovely colors. Oh, I love it. I did work on this one a little bit this year. I put in a lot more alphabet. But as you can see, with as much as I need left to do, that's pretty pathetic. But look at those colors. Just look at the colors. I love them. And yes, I realize these are ghosty, but I like ghosty letters in samplers, and that's the way it's charted, so that's the way it looks. I enjoy the ghosty letters. But that is Chirchi and Yerchi. We have 2 more from 2024. Yes, I started 50. I have less than 50. I think I have less than 25, but it's not a lot less. Excuse me. This is yet another one that is a digital digital pattern. So I do not have a cover page. Maybe in the new year I will print some out because it's fun to see what people are making. But I didn't, and I haven't. This is a Carolyn Manning Unkindness of Raisins. I am doing this 2/2 on I think a 32 count. All the called for colors, and I love the colors. Oh, it's getting late, so my colors are not being pretty. Look at those colors. They're so pretty. I love them. As to why I have 2 needle binders on this one, I have no clue. Most only have 1. Here, we'll remove one so it can join its friends in just having 1 needle binder. There we go. I like needle minders, and so yes, I do just leave my needle minders on my projects because I have enough that it doesn't matter. And yeah, I am slowly kitting this one up as I get to a color. So these are the colors I have used so far. This purple right here is really pretty. This blue, and I have quite a few more colors that I have not yet floss dropped because I haven't gotten to them yet. And then, living in this bag, is another modern folk embroidery, AKGIT 1833 Virlanda sampler. I have worked on it this year. She's another hefty lady. I am using the Roxy Floss Virlanda. So it's this lovely brown black. Looks like a wonderful faded black. I love it. And this is on 40 count Duxbury by Fox and Rabbit. I have an entire bed sheet here. So give me a moment while I find where my stitching is, because there's not a lot of stitching, especially compared to the size of the fabric. This is not the size of fabric that I need for the entire piece. I just haven't counted out how much I need, because again, paranoia that I'm going to cut it too small. That is where we are with it, though. Just that itty bitty little upper part. I worked on more crowns and letters, and I did this bit of border. And yeah, when I say I have a bed sheet, I mean it. This is like a yard of fabric. Because if I was gonna go big, I go big or go home, right? Go big or go home. Actually, go big and go home. Even better. Go big and stay home. My preferred way of living life. Just stay home. It's where all your stash is. It's where all your crafts are. And it's delightful. People are outside. 0 out of 10 stars. Would not recommend. Anyhow, I thought this was a very appropriate bag for that, Virlanda. Oops, I should put the picture back in. And that is the end of my 2024 WIPs. Hold on for just a minute, and I will come with the WIPs I have left over from 2025 this year. And I will show you the one that I am planning to focus on for a finish on that one. Be right back. Okay, technically, this first one is from 2024. It is my birthday start from last year. This is what I started for my 50th birthday. Peacorn, a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. I have done very little work on it, but I have worked on it a little bit this year. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. I am using the silks, which are just luscious and beautiful. Yeah. You see the color of that fabric, don't you? I'm filling the whole thing in, because none of the fabrics are the right green. None of the fabrics are the right green. So therefore, I had to do it this way. And there is what I have. Just that upper corner, not even a lot of stuff. But it's so fun. It's like a coloring book. I very much enjoy it. I need to get back to this one. I need to get back to all of them. Anyone want to pay me to craft for a living? And keep it? And have no deadlines? Be great. Next up we have Red Mermaid by RTO. This is a kit, so I'm using all the called for, which is, I forget what size Aida and whatever floss is in here. And there she is. You can see me working on her hair. Here's her face, but I'm just working in on all of her hair. She's just pretty. Okay. Maybe not looking like this right now, but she will be very pretty. I mean, look at her. Is that not beautiful? And yes, it's in an octopus bag. In here is a whole lot of charts, but I'll explain. This is the Fabulous House series by Cottage Garden Sampling. I'm doing 12 of the 13 released. I'm doing them in a different order than was released, and yeah, I'm starting with the castle. I'm doing it all on one piece of fabric, and I seem to have a list in here of, I'm guessing, before Joanne went out of business. I seem to have bought some DMCs, and I'm guessing I'm missing these ones. I don't know. But I have that note in here, so I'm just going to leave it in there still. Anyway, I am doing this on the called for fabric, which was a 40 count. Well, I don't know about if the 40 count was, but I'm doing it on a 40 count. Prehistoric by Fox and Rabbit. And as I said, I'm doing 12 of the patterns of the 13 she gave us, and doing them in a different order, and I've started with the castle. That is as far as I've made it on the castle. I am using the called for threads, so I have the 2 specialty threads. I don't remember the dyer name for the specialty threads. I don't remember which ones they are, but I'm using those, and then just the DMCs for the rest. This, just the castle, but this, castle only, is my focus on a finish for my 2025 pieces. And she's going to be big. I think I'm doing it 4 by 3 to get my 12 on. Then we have one of the charts I started, the only chart I started from Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this year. I started Rambling Hill by Artsy Housewife, and since this was a kitted project for us, I am using all of the called for, which I don't remember anything of. 36 count, maybe? I'm doing it 2/2. I do recall that because I liked the depth of color, and they did give us enough floss to do so. And I prefer the depth of color for it. I did work on it more than just at Pinwis. Not a lot, but a little. And just look at those colors. I really felt that you needed that second strand to really, really get that richness. And she gave us 2 charts, so I'll put the other one over here eventually when I get to it. So all the called for, everything's. What's in here? Ah, yes. In here is my Remembrance Day start. This is Poppies by Riolas. It is a kit. So it's using their floss and their fabric, and it is their wool acrylic floss. And there is, here, let me fold it up like this so you can not look through it. There are my poppies. I haven't done a ton on this, but it's very pretty. Oh, it's very pretty. I need to get back to this one. I need to get back to them all. And now, I have my final start of 2025. This was my birthday start this year. This is 11 Rabbits by Jed X Stitch. I was not planning on doing a birthday start this year because I have not finished many of my birthday starts from the last few years because they're huge. They're things like Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger, Gamer Nouveau, something else huge. I don't remember what. I'd have to look. Big things. I like big charts. So I wasn't going to start anything. But then she released this. And I love tapestries. This is a printout from my home computer, so it's not looking too great. And I got it, and I bought everything for it, and I started it for my birthday. Here are all the lovely threads. Look at those colors. There's just some wild ones in here. This color, it's just, whoa! But it works. It works. There are 2 specialty flosses. I am doing this on 40 count Arboreal by Cedar River, which is the called for linen. And here is where I am. I have 3 of the 11 rabbits are finished. Well, mostly finished. They still need eyeballs. Look at those colors. Are they not gorgeous? I mean, maybe not in this light, because it's dark now, and, you know, that's how it goes. But, oh, I love this so much. It's so pretty, and it was just, oh, it's just been a joy to stitch on. Absolute joy to stitch on. I love the colors. I love the tapestry feel. I love the linen. This is my latest start, and I love it. I will be having a new start in 2025. I will be having a few new starts. I have most of them planned, but one I will be starting on Christmas, nope, New Year's Day. And that will be the Modern Folk Embroidery Little Egg Pie. Excuse my crinkling, it's just destroying this. There we go. But we don't need to hear about that in the 2025 WIP Parade, do we? No, we don't. Hold on just a second. Let me clean this up and I'll be right back. So as you can see, I have about 62 WIPs right now. On the first I will have 63. But right now, it's still 2025. We don't need to talk about 2026. 2026 doesn't exist in our WIP Parade today. I have a lot to do. But I still love all of them. and I am really excited to get back to all of them. So, if you found me and this is your first introduction to me, I am usually about this scattered. But I hope I was entertaining enough that perhaps you will feel like coming on my adventures in 2026 with me, and you can see what progress I get on all of these lovely pieces. I did tell you the handful, the 6, the one from pre-2020, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. That's 7. The 7 things that I am focusing on to get them closer to a finish. If I magically get all 7 of those finished this year, and there's still year left over, I will pick a new batch of 7, though it might be 6, because I'm not going to use my giant BAPs, my full coverage ones. Those are never going to be a focus on a finish. Those are going to be in a separate pile. And I think one of my years is just a BAP and a piece. Anyway, I will pick from those years again for another batch to work on to get to a finish. I do not know if I will finish all of those focus on a finish pieces this year. I don't know. But I'm gonna focus on those ones to get them moving towards that finish line, that goal, that joy of finish. I will be starting some things. I have a whole plans video that if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch. That tells you all about my plans for my new moon, new starts next year. Feel free to join me if you like. Other than that, I'm going to let you all go because I have no clue how long this is. And yeah, it went a little faster than I thought, but I am worn out. And I am glad that I did it in bunches and then cleaned up those bunches as I went. So there's not chaos next to me right now. And that feels good. That definitely feels good. No chaos next to me, which is thumbs up. Anyone who films a WIP parade, you know what I mean. You do. Right. So I hope to see you in the new year. I hope 2026 goes well for us all and we all can craft to our heart's desires with all of the things that we enjoy and that all of our counts work. I do hope that. Good luck. I need to heat up my tea. It got cold. Good luck. Cheers. I'll see you in 2026. Love ya. Bye.